Hey everybody, it's Ron Capps. Listen, season 1 of the Ron Capps Experience. Thank you for everybody watching and enjoying it. We're going to start season 2. The Ron Capps Experience, we started with Competition Plus to go behind the scenes and give you, these drivers and crew chiefs and owners, a little taste of really what they're all about, that maybe our Fox people don't ask those questions, and maybe there's some things that I might know that I can ask that really our fans would love to know. What makes them tick? What do they do on off weekends? What do they do in the mornings? Behind the scenes kinds of stuff. So with that being said, let's go to Ron Capps Experience season number 2. Hope you enjoy.
You're on the other side of the mic now.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
You don't know what to do with your hands?
Ricky Bobby.
So now you got pretty used to being behind this microphone. Now you're on the other side. So yesterday I asked you, I said, man, you showed them who the boss was last night. And you looked at me and like, no. Yeah, well, you actually are the boss now.
I thought you meant because we were low ET, and it didn't even occur to me being the boss. And I don't feel like the boss still. It feels the same. You and I were joking about if I even had the stones to fire somebody, and I would not. I don't have that in me right now. So it's weird to be an owner in that respect right now, but it just feels like we felt last year. We're all working together the same here in this pit area, and it's cool at the end of the night when we're heading to the hotel, and I'm like, man, you look down and you see the Ron Capps Motorsports, and it just kind of hits you.
But you are the boss, and you do have to fire somebody. So if I came up and kicked you in the balls, how are you gonna fire me? What's your best fire line?
I wouldn't fire you. Well, for me, it'd be the old Don Perdome. I worked with Snake forever, and here's what he would do. He'd walk up and go, hey man, you got a minute? And if you got the, hey man, you got a minute, or if you got a second, something was not going to be good the next couple of minutes. I don't care who you were. So you never wanted to get that. So I might have to borrow that from Snake and just, hey man, you got a second?
What you do too.
Yeah, I got to. Hey man. So I don't know. I don't foresee that ever happening, and I hope it doesn't happen. But right now we're just having fun. It's been fun taking on all this extra stuff, and really to support everybody around me, including the people I race against. Forrest was over here this morning. I thanked him for all the nice words in the article, competitionplus.com. But it's been a lot, and it's just been, I woke up this morning earlier than I wanted to, and I was laying in bed thinking, when we do get the first win, it's going to be pretty emotional because, I've had my wife pretty involved in this whole process, Paul Mecca, our team manager, but Guido and John Medlin, and really the whole team, but just people, Ed Harney's an attorney that I got hooked up through Antron, our business manager there in Indy, just the people that really jumped in to help, knowing that I was wet behind the ears on a lot of the stuff you never think about out here at the racetrack. Fans would never think about. And just living the American dream as a small business owner, you know what it's like. There's a lot to it behind the scenes, and I'm enjoying tackling all that, but I don't want to mess up in the car, and I'm trying to stay focused as a race car driver, which we seemed to do okay yesterday, but we'll find out in Pomona.
You've lived in mom and dad's house for about 30 years, 40 years as a driver. I think you've been racing that long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
28 years as a professional NHRA race car driver. Not many people could say that. I didn't bring money. It wasn't I brought a big check. I was hired to represent these companies and be a race car driver, which is, to me, it is so cool to know that I've been able to pull that off and work hard at it, but to be hired because they wanted you represent them, and those owners wanted you in the race car, and they wanted you to do away from the racetrack what they expected. That's the biggest thing for me. That's what I'm most proud of, really.
You know why you keep getting paid for these deals? To be a driver? Because you're a sex symbol. At least that's how John Force sees it. He sees you as the sexiest man out here.
Let's not even go there. I'm still in therapy over the kiss. Oh, he's a great guy. He's, everybody knows. Even if you're not a John Force fan, as a race car, as an NHRA fan, if he's one of the guys you don't like, you got to know he's got the biggest heart in the world. And even the people that I love racing him. I hate him when I race him. I also love him because he brings out the best in all of us. He is still the barometer out here. I don't care what he's doing any given weekend, but he is still the Tom Brady of drag racing. That's the way I put it. He's still going, and he's still one of the best. So to hear him say those words and to have if I could play you the voicemails I have on my phone saved from him over the years, oh my God. I mean, sometimes he'll call the house thinking it's my cell phone in typical John Force fashion and leave a rambling message. And I won't share those unless someday I ask him to, but they're hilarious. And it's just John being John, and he's always been that way.
Well, just a couple of things here. The Tom Brady thing, me being a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, that's kind of a sore subject with me. But I think you're a very handsome guy. I think you're great for drag racing.
Hey, you guys might get Garoppolo, our quarterback from the Niners. Yeah. You're going to be all right, I think.
I think you're a great guy, but I have zero interest in kissing you.
Good.
Okay. But have you ever thought, since you came on this side of the microphone, how it would be if your name was just Ron Cap and not Ron Caps?
Why?
Because then it would be the Ron Cap sex experience.
Man, you got a lot of extra time, Bobby. No,
I'm in.
I get a lot of people asking, especially drag race fans, if I'm related to Terry Cap, who I looked up to as a kid too, the Canadian drag racer, and I've gotten to meet several times. Great guy, but people always think that we're related. He doesn't have an S on the end, but. Yeah, that would be weird. I'm glad I do have an S on the end of my name, especially now that you mention that.
Yeah, John Force would go crazy over that.
Yeah.
So, when you went out there last night and you ran a 387, phenomenal run. If you've seen the video of it, you're like, somewhere down the line, I'm going to pay for this because it's not supposed to be this easy.
Yeah, well, I was thinking that, and it got very dark. We were almost last in line before they closed the staging lanes. And it was like old school dark night racing. And I was like, oh man, I did the burnout. I backed up and got on the radio to the guys. I'm like, man, it is dark out here. And there's some bumps here at this track at the top end that will definitely keep you busy in a cockpit in a funny car. And so I shut it off early, and Guido wanted to run 85 or 86, but I clicked it off early. He didn't want to go all the way to the finish line, so it would have probably ran that. But the first run, one parachute popped out, so I was like, okay, now I'm getting the test. And then we went right up and went 391 in the middle of the day in the heat, and then went the 387. So far so good. Again, Bobby, it seems like we're just status quo here. We're doing the same thing. It's so cool to. And I said this over the years to you and other media people. The best thing about all those years at Dom Perdome's and at Dom Schumacher's, with Brute Cologne and with, Napa, is we didn't have a whole lot of turnover with crew people and team members. And so it was always nice for me to do the photo shoots, do all the media stuff during the wintertime, and then show up at Pomona. And it's, for the most part, all the same guys around me. And we've had that this year. Any race car driver in here will tell you there's nothing worse than a whole new crew, except last year when Toba retired, spur of the moment, and I got put together with Guido and Medlin, which was destiny. They didn't have a sponsor. I didn't have a crew chief, and it worked out perfect. And we went on to win a world championship, but we started off with a number one qualifying hat in Gainesville, and it just got better and better. So that's the best part, is just it seems normal, and I think that's good right now. I probably had the best sleep in the last month and a half last night, and I think it's because we finally made it here. It's real. It's got my name on it, and we're here and we're doing well, and that that definitely made me sleep better.
I just knew it was going to be good for you when you left the starting line and the parachute come out. I said, there's nothing going to hold back Ron Capps, because you just kept driving that son of a gun. You're just thinking, man, I'm dragging a sled here. Okay, so I'm going to step off the reservation here. Not literally step off the reservation. I ask you, I'm going to pull Ron Capps' experience, and I'm going to ask you, just out of the blue, have you ever gone streaking before?
Yeah. You know, we have the fan cruise I've done every year. We did, I think, 14 years in a row. The Capps, Cruising with Capps is what it was called. And every year we'd go on a week-long cruise, and fans would sign up and go. And there's a couple instances, and some of my close friends, they will start laughing right now when they hear this, but I sort of streaked. The best part about that cruise was these fans that we've gotten to be really close friends with now, longtime fans that would go on this cruise, and you get to know each other very well, because the idea of the Capps cruise, and we're going to do it again eventually, and so I encourage anybody who wants to get in this small circle. It's not meant to be a big media thing. It's not meant to be a meet and greet and a sponsor event. In fact, we don't want anybody from corporate Napa going, or any gear wrench people. And over the years, it's been fun. I mean, we drink, we have a great time, we go on excursions together, we say stuff, and we do stuff that doesn't leave the ship most of the time. And so a lot of the longtime fans that have gone on it over the years, they may or may not have heard the story or been there when maybe I streaked, maybe I didn't. I may not remember, but that was part of that fun cruise. So yeah, to answer your question, if I was on the witness stand, I would have to say yes is my answer.
That was your alter ego, Ron Selzy, anyway, so.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
All right, look, I'm going to give you your first firing opportunity here because I have zero interest in being on this side of the microphone. So I'm going to allow you to fire me.
Well, if I fire you, then I can't do my
no, well, I'll be back behind the camera, but I'm not going to
fire you from this.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, hey Bobby, hey man, you got a second? I've noticed you're pretty good behind the camera, but let me tell you something, man. When you hold this thing, you just don't have it. You don't seem to have it. So maybe you can step back behind the camera a little bit. We might have to cut your pay a little bit. I'll get a hold of Comp Bus Plus bosses and see if I can figure that out. I'm going to call Butch Horn. I don't know what that means. There's an inside joke there. And we'll find out.
Yeah, you do this much better than I do.
But we want to thank you. First of all, I know everybody watching, thank you for streaming, the testing, for all you do. I mean, you guys are, you continually make it nice for the fans. Make it nice. I'll tell you how many times I go to your site to get information that I don't have, and it means a lot that you guys have spent this much energy. The March meet. That's so it goes without saying how much we all appreciate. I know I speak for everybody, and we're gonna have some more fun with the Ron Capps experience. We've already got you and I talked, and we're gonna have some fun stuff for the fans coming up. Some drivers that we're gonna put behind the Ron Capps experience and throw some questions at them that they may not be ready for. So looking forward to it.
Now you're a team owner, you're going to come to hate us here.
Listen, I just fired you a second ago, so you're not allowed to talk.
Well, I guess you can't get much more hating than firing somebody.
You just nod your head.
Yeah.